Bring on the sports romance girlies. This one is for us. Hello everyone. Today we are going to be reviewing Anna Huang's most recent release and her sports romance debut, The Striker. I have a lot of thoughts, and this is the second Anna Huang book I've now reviewed. First one we did, King of Sloth, earlier this year. Be sure to check out that video. Lots to say, lots of tea. Quickly before we get into it, make sure to follow me on Goodreads and StoryRec because I reviewed all of our other books there at M's Novellas, but let's get it. So, like all my other reviews, we keep the first part spoiler free, then we're going into spoilers where we talked about characters, plot, notable quotes, the book cover, all that jazz. Let's get into it. First and foremost, we follow...
What is happening with my camera right now? Can we focus, please?
Hold on. Sorry about that. Let's resume our earlier scheduled program. We follow Asher Donovan, a star football player. I'm probably going to say soccer because I'm American, but the book says football because in Europe that's what they call it, and maybe other countries as well, but I know it's like a really European thing that they're really sticklers about football. And we follow Scarlett DeBow, ballerina. This is a classic rivals sister romance. So Asher and Vincent DeBow are rivals in the soccer world. They're constantly pit up against each other, and you find out in the plot that they, no spoilers, but they have to then end up working with Scarlett on the off season to remedy their issues and whatnot. And this puts Scarlett and Asher in that close proximity situation. There's the classic forbidden romance. There's the like sneaking around. Also, it's golden hour. Can we like appreciate this? Alright, only we'll be recording with golden hour from out here and out. Also, new filming location unlocked for everyone who's been here before. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, overall, this story comes with all of the possible forbidden romance tropes you can think of. The sneaking around, the inevitable blow up of when it comes out. There's the added pressure with Asher being extremely in the public eye and Scarlett is not. She chooses not to be. She does not enjoy that. And it's very interesting. The plot was, I would say, medium to fast paced. For this book, I read it on my phone. It was like 700 plus pages on my phone. For it being this long, I feel like there was a lot of unnecessary detail. It kind of like, I was like, there's a lot happening, but do we really need this included in here? I feel like we could have took a lot out and it'd be the same exact book. The plot was fine though. I'm gonna say something, I'm not gonna go into it, but I felt it was a very predictable story. Anyone who's if you haven't read a forbidden romance, especially when it comes to like brothers, like best friend, rival's best friend, like it has all those key components that you know are going to happen. So it felt very predictable to me. It didn't feel like any original content. I know there's very little limited content in the book world, but like because so many things are so naturally used over and over again, but it felt a little unoriginal to me. Still entertaining. I still read it and had a good time, but would I think it was revolutionary? No. If you're looking for like, I think if this was your first time reading a forbidden romance in the like modern world and contemporary romance, you'd enjoy it a little bit more. But the characters were interesting. I liked that Scarlett and Vincent DeBow. I'm gonna say DeBow. My French is not great. Both of them being French was super fun. I kind of wish when they spoke to each other in French that I like wrote it out so we could like translate it. It just said like they spoke to each other in French. What can we do? But overall, I gave this book 4 stars. Those are the initial feelings. After this, I'm kind of feeling more of toward a 3-star, but I always stick with my initial rating for the most part, unless something really dramatic happens, and typically it's just knocked down to a 1, but that is not the case. It was entertaining, just not super original. And that's about that. I'm not going to get into all the specifics because that's what the spoilers are for. So if you don't want to get spoiled, make sure to save this video so you can come right back here. We can chat all about it a little bit more, but we're going to go into the spoilers now. So let's talk about the characters. Let's start off with, I have my little notes here, so ignore me. Let's start off with our Miss Scarlet. We love our soft girl. I kind of wish she was a little bit more of a soft girl, but I appreciated, like, she was standing up for people. She stood up for herself. She was very independent. She was to the point, like, I don't want to, like, burden others with my problems. I kind of appreciated that, but sometimes I like the little softer girl aesthetic a little bit more, you know. I thought her backstory was really interesting with the whole injury. It was so interesting, like with the car crash, especially with how much Asher is into car racing. I thought that was a really interesting overlap there that I appreciated how those kind of interwoven itself together. Super fun, love that. But she's our soft girl, we love that. Asher, he's just our classic athletic rich playboy. Doesn't get more stereotypical than that. Does some trauma. I appreciate that component with, like, his childhood friend who died and kind of unpacking how he still doesn't know how to deal with that grief, but he eventually goes to therapy and works with the sports psychologist on this, which we appreciate that. We stand therapy in this household. I didn't care really for how often he would, like, get into fights and then, like, would recklessly drive. Those are two, like, big red flags to me that just scream, like, the danger component and, like, almost like a, like, self-righteous component. I don't know if that's the right word, but I didn't love that about him. I just read a book before this where, like, this other guy, like, just would go haphazardly, like, punching people. I'm like, can we no. Like, what's with the violence? Stop the violence, please. I like Vincent. Maybe it's because we were seeing him through the perspective of Scarlet that he was, like, a lot more chill, and that was fine, but I liked him a lot. His, like, rivalry. I will note, though, him faking injury in the World Cup final for someone to get a red card is diabolical. I didn't even preface with this. I'm a huge sports fan, especially soccer. U.S. women's national team. Yeah. Big fan. Love them. Alex Morgan is my MVP for life. Anyway, that is crazy. I, like, hate when players fake injuries in general. Like, they're so dramatic. Like, this isn't theater. This is a sporting event. We're not paying you to be dramatic. We're paying you to score goals and defend and do your job. Anyway, that's a rant for another time. I liked him besides the fact of the whole faking injury thing. Other than that, he was great. I liked Karina a lot. I don't really know if, like, I could tell you much about her besides she works at RAB. I honestly, like, don't remember much about her, which is so bad. But I liked her mime a lot. She seemed super cool and down to earth. I honestly thought she was going to be set up for the love interest with Vincent just because of how much they didn't get along, but it's definitely going to be Brooklyn, who is our new friend who we get introduced to, like, fighting someone in a club when she's trying to, like, someone's trying to rob her. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to say this carefully. I'm a dietitian. I don't know the rules in Europe. I don't know what they call themselves, but I know in America the term nutritionist is not regulated, so it means nothing. I'm pretty sure Anna Huang is American, so she might be using the term nutritionist, like Brooklyn is studying to become a nutritionist. I'm pretty sure they use dietitian over there. So it's just a little bit of, like, a tiny pet peeve of mine, like, make her study to be a dietitian, because nutritionist doesn't mean anything. Here. That's me projecting onto, I think they're in England. I don't know what the Brits do. I don't know what they call themselves. If you are English, let me know. What do they call the nutrition specialist over there? Here it's dietitian. People call them nutritionist, but it doesn't mean anything. Anyway, I'm a little nervous because there's the potential for some food fear mongering with her character, with her book. And the next one, I'm assuming she is Vincent's love interest. That might be a spoiler. We're in the spoiler section, so you know, but I'm a little nervous. I don't want to see any food fear mongering because it is 2024. We are moving in the direction of food freedom and all aspects of health matter, and food doesn't have a moral value. You get the gist. Anyway, I'm excited for Brooklyn. Also, I like the name Brooklyn a lot. I don't have much to say about Scarlett and Vincent's parents. I think they're divorced. There's some potential hostility there. Vincent's dad is like now with his nurse said took care of him, but he's like, I don't know how much to say. I still don't like Asher's dad, despite him being all like,
oh, I was doing it because I saw how hard you were on yourself and I was pushing you to get there, like.
That doesn't mean you to be like verbally abusive to your son. Kids are easily traumatized, so look at him. He literally like upended his career and moved to his rival club because he wanted to get away from you. Was that really pushing him to become his very best self and get over his childhood trauma with his friend who was killed? I don't think so. But that's just me. My one note, Clive was a rat. We don't have to get into that more. He was just a rat. And then Bolchester's teams, at least the one that participated in like the fighting and everything and went and like, what's the word, trash talked Asher and Black Castle's team. I think that's the name of their team. Not cute. Also a bunch of rats. And that's the characters. I feel like I might have forgotten some people. There was a lot of name drops of characters, but we're going to bring that up in the quotes because I don't have to really talk about them as much. But we're going to talk about the plot. Let's get into it. All right, we are losing sunlight as we go, but I refuse to turn on the artificial light, so... Hello, I'm trying to record. Please be quiet. Let's talk about the plot. I really like how this whole setup, like how Scarlett gets brought into it, is the cross-training of soccer cross-training with ballet. It's so interesting to me to like just talk about athletes off seasons and what they do. Spoiler alert, I used to want to be a sports dietitian, so I actually have a decent amount of background working in like different sports facilities. Hearing about the sports more, which is going to be like a complaint of mine, it's a spoiler since we're here, is I feel like even though I understand it was off training, it was off season, I feel like there wasn't enough sports. And I understand the ballet and the like training there was a sport, but like I feel like his whole thing was being a soccer player. I love soccer. There was like the charity match. There was like the couple like rivalries with Bolchester, whatever their name is. I wanted more soccer. I love soccer. I wanted more from like the World Cup, Olympics. Are we gonna talk about that at all? No, we didn't. It's just a complaint of mine. I know sometimes people don't want as much sports in the sports romances, but I'm like, it's a sports romance. Give me more sport. More sport, please. I did know, I felt it was a little bit convenient that as they are cross-training, like Vincent has to go and take care of his and Scarlett's father to like, so that way like Asher was able to see Scarlett more closely now, even though she's off the limits. And now he could like build a whole ballet training area in his house. Like if she didn't know him, that's kind of creepy to like 3 times a week she's going, I mean, she doesn't really know him. 3 times a week she's now going to his house. He could have easily like kidnapped her. How well did she know him? A lot of trust in him. And he just like built this entire studio because he was just that rich and could do that. I would like that type of money. Please. I should have married rich. I'm not even married. I should have married rich. Anyway, my biggest complaint about the plot is like it felt predictable. The classic like, oh, close proximity, we shouldn't do this, but the attraction is so strong. I haven't felt like this with anyone else. It's predictable. They hide it. Him with his popularity, she gets found out. Sloane comes in. Sloane from the King of Sins series. She's the main character in King of Sloth. And it's like him having to hide the relationship and debate if it's even worth it. And he's never been like this with anyone else. And then like they never brought it up, and then it blows up when Vincent finds out, and then they fight.
Because you know, these men don't know how to not punch people. That's the only way they know how to communicate, apparently.
Everyone go to therapy, please. Violence should not be normalized. Anyway, anywho, what was I saying? I got so riled up about that. Oh, it just felt very predictable. The biggest plot points I like did not see coming was Clive was the one that keyed Asher's nicest car. I did not see that coming. I didn't realize he really was upset that he beat him in the race. And then Yvette, the like star lead in the like RAB dance. What do you call the things you audition for in ballet? Performance? Play? I did not expect her to be the one to call in the paparazzi on Asher and Scarlett. I was like, why? Was she like jealous of her? Scarlett was just the understudy at that point, and then when she got caught, she became the lead. Like, why would you do that? Those are the biggest things, but overall it just felt very unoriginal. And the other point I want to make is for this being 770 pages on my phone, 770 pages, and I saw like the books and videos, she's thick. This should have been more of a slow burn. I know Anna Huang does not do the slow burn route as much, but for as long as this was, I think they like kissed after maybe 300 pages, so maybe like a little less than 50% through. But I just felt like there was a lot of like instant traction, just instantly doing these things. I'm like, for as long as this is, let's make them wait a little bit more. It felt a little too insta love to me, even though it was like 40% in. 45% in that they do stuff, whatever. We're gonna talk about the quotes because some interesting things happen here. The first one is Scarlett got driven to Asher's home for their training. She walks in and she's like, I passed the living room, stopped and doubled back. Was that? She turns back. My good mood evaporated like a puddle in the sun. Now I know why Asher hadn't been there to greet me at his house. He had a guest over, a very blonde, very leggy guest in an outfit that probably cost more than my monthly rent, and they were kissing. Now, at first I was like, I did not have any faith in him. I'm like, he literally was so hung up on hooking up with someone that he forgot about this other girl he was interested in. At this point, that's where my opinion was of him. I'm like, oh, it was low. In the gutters, if I couldn't make it more obvious. And then it comes around and turns out she's like, no, she jumped on me and kissed me first. I was completely innocent. And she's definitely going to come up in King of Envy, the next King of Sins book, because she was trying to seduce or make Buck jealous, who's interested in, I think a supermodel who's in an arranged marriage, maybe? Everyone somehow knows everyone. That's all. I read Twisted series. I read King of Sins up to date. Now we're in Gods of the Game series. Everyone's interwoven. That's like, you kind of have to read everything to at least get these Easter eggs, which is actually the next one I was going to note is Sloane and Xavier get mentioned, our main characters from King of Sloth. And I was like, oh, first one, clock it. Our next quote, oh my gosh, this made me so mad. Asher invited Karina, I think, and Scarlett to a like exclusive party. Ooh, saucy. And she's trying to get in. She's like, Scarlett's trying to get into the party. She's like, is my name on the list? And the like lady with the clipboard who's letting them in, she's like, I don't see your name. And Scarlett's like, you didn't even check my name for my name. She's like, I don't need to. This is a VIP problem. This is a VIP party. I'm afraid your 100 quid dress and 2-year-old bag don't meet our criteria. Now, if you'll excuse me, she turned me a trio of newcomers. How rude. Check the list. The power trip is unnecessary. Next quote. Oh, this is bad. This is bad words.
I'm not great with words.
So they're arguing, and because Asher's saying Clive was interested in Scarlett. He met her at the VIP party. And Asher's like saying like, he's not actually interested in you. And he essentially says like, he only likes you because you're like a challenge that he can't get. And Scarlett goes, do you think the only reason someone could possibly like me is they see me as a challenge at Asher? Because he is his rival's, she is his rival's sister, forbidden fruit, a challenge. And he's like, that's not what I meant, and you know it. And I'm like, yeah, but you said it. And the way you said it, I'm just not very forgiving. So He had to eat his words a little bit there. Oh, this was bad. So then Asher, for some like dumb reason, was like,
let's go on a double date. I just met this new great girl. We can all go out together.
so it's like Clive and Scarlett, Asher and Ivy. Turns out Ivy and Clive are exes. What are the coincidences of that? And then like Asher's pet name or like term of endearment for Scarlett is darling. And he calls Ivy darling, goes, Ivy darling, would you like more wine? And he only calls Scarlett that. And then the word darling tasted strange when aimed at someone who wasn't Scarlett, but I swallowed my misgivings. Scarlett's seeming fascination with Clive, who plays rugby, Grant faltered. The jealousy, a little toxic. I do enjoy the bit of toxicity, I will know. I'm not the most innocent there, so. I'm aware of my flaws, guys. I'm aware of my flaws. Next quote. Oh, Scarlett goes, I can't believe they used to date, Clive and Ivy. What a plot twist. And Ashley's like, maybe it's a sign. Scarlett goes, of what? That we're on the wrong dates with the wrong people. He kept saying these like fate things and like, oh, I wish it was this way. And I was like, you know what? Keep fighting for her. I'm not completely sold on you, but keep up the good fights. Oh, this made me so mad. This is just another thing with Ash's dad. Ash's dad is yelling at him for who knows what this time. Like literally who knows what. And then he finds out that Asher's romantically involved with Scarlett. He's like,
Oh, don't tell me you went and slept with your bloody trainer.
and then he goes on this full thing about how he needs to focus. And then
Now you shot your trainer. How are you gonna be number one when you're too busy thinking about getting off to play the game?
And I'm thinking, like, at this point, we don't know his dad's intentions or his supposed intentions, but I'm like, you really think this is motivating? Do you really think this is nice? It's not. So stop. Stop that. Get some help. Next one. Oh, this is bad. This is just at the end of the argument. And Asher literally puts the ultimatum out. Like, so his dad was like a diehard fan for, what is the name of this team? Rolchester? Bolchester? Whoever the Black Castle rivalry is, where he came from. He's like a diehard fan. And his dad's like, you should just go back. Everything got worse when you transferred. And then Asher's like, who is it? Me? Like, me or the team, dude? And his dad literally couldn't say anything. And I'm like, healthy, yes, gentle parenting. Who is she? We don't know. Not present here. Her next quote. I just want to know, I love Scarlett's love for Pluto because I am also. And then Asher like made her a cake that says Justice for Pluto on it. He might not have made this actually. Now that I think about it, I think he bought it. I don't know if he's capable of baking. I am also someone that was hurt when Pluto was taken out of our main group of planets. Rude. So I love the Pluto representation. I felt seen. Oh, this next quote. So I talked about like the violence, you guys, and this is, I'm just gonna include it. Literally, like they're at a charity match for children, and Raphael is there, who is Scarlett's ex, who's like super toxic, only cares about appearances, nothing new. Vincent punches him, Asher punches him, and then the ref's like, break it up, this is for kids. And then once again, after the game, Raphael corners Scarlett, and then Asher just comes out and flat out punches him. And then Asher's like, I'm glad I did it, because I think Vincent would have done it too. Stop punching people. Violence is not okay. And they say women are the emotional ones. We're not out here punching people. Men punch you. I will hold this in, but men are so emotional and driven by anger. Stand by that. I'll die on that hill. Anyway. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. So we know Scarlett's past with her injury. She also, it's getting a little dark in here, guys. It is. I'll turn on some light so you can see me. Hold on. How bad is this lighting? Ooh, I'm yellow. Oh, this is gross. Okay, hold on. Let me try to fix this. I am missing the golden hour. Okay, we're just gonna have to make do with this. Sorry, the lighting is gross, guys. This is what I get because I work 40 hours a week, so I don't always get the best lighting. But we're showing up. I'm showing up for you. Okay, where were we? Oh, okay. Scarlett's background with the car accident that caused her like career ending, ballerina injury. So like she really doesn't like that Asher races cars, you know, like an obvious conflict of interest, you know? And then she has this whole, she gets really upset about it because he could get hurt. And he says, I won't race anymore, I promise. And when he says this, I was like, that's gonna be their fight. A little too predictable, but you dumb boy, you're gonna race, and I knew it. Oh, this next one is just showcasing that Yvette was the one who called the paparazzi on them, which is crazy. Oh, the other like twist was, this one I kind of saw coming because everything's somehow interconnected. And I'm not just patting myself on the back, you guys. Like, if you read this, or if you've read any type of books like this before and then you read this, like, you can guess the twist so easily. And I don't know if it's just like I know Anna Huang's writing by now, or I've read too many contemporary romances, maybe a combo of both, but like the fact Brooklyn is the coach of Black Castle's team's daughter, so like obviously setting up the forbidden romance there between her and Vincent, like coach's daughter off limits. And then she's interning with them to become a nutritionist, which is like a really cool opportunity to be able to work with a professional soccer team. That'd be awesome. Anyway. Oh, and then, okay, there's some bar, Devil's Tavern? What is the name of this bar? It's like very British, I think. But there's a bar that they have like a strict like no photos, complete privacy code. So like the athletes will go there all the time, and the rival team shows up. I don't even know. I don't remember their name, you guys. The rival team though, that used to be Asher's whole team, shows up, and they like, Asher's like, let's take this outside. And one of the main guys is like, you betrayed us. You left us for the enemy. Whatever. Like, it's soccer. Let's relax. It's soccer. I was an avid soccer fan. It is soccer. We don't have to be punching people over this. You get to like play a sport for a living. That's so cool. Relax. Anyway, so like the first time this happens, the guy like, he's like, let's race this out, Asher, and then we'll see who. Somehow that's gonna like squash the beef. And I'm like, yeah, totally. That's totally it. And then, oh my gosh, this next one is just like, Vincent finds out about Scarlett and Asher. What does he do? He punches him because men can't control their feelings and they just punch people in these books, apparently. Red flag. Oh, next one is Asher's car gets defiled. They call him Judas because of the whole betrayal thing, you know, a little Bible reference, you know. And that was Clive. That was kind of crazy. And then once again, he runs into, his name's Bachi. He's like one of his old ex-teammates. And once again, he's like, let's race this out and end this. Even though, like, what is this ending? What is the purpose? I don't wonder. I don't understand. It's so dumb. Like, you're gonna race your little cars and you're gonna feel better. Like, who's better at driving? Who has a faster car? I don't understand it. Whatever. And then Ashley goes, I'm not scared of anything or anyone, Bachi, much less you. You want to race? Fine, let's race right now. At this point, my first thought was, you dumb boy. You stupid little man. You promised Scarlett, and you let your emotions drive you, and you just love racing so much. You shouldn't make promises you can't keep. And then Scarlett saw the newspaper, the news heading, Asher Donovan rushed to the hospital after car crash in North London. And then they break up. We have our third act breakup, and it was a very rightful breakup, a little bit of a predictable one. But I'm like, Scarlett had every right. She literally was like, I cannot watch you potentially hurt yourself and drive yourself off a cliff because you need to do that to yourself. Also, I feel like this is the most disgusting lighting ever. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still here, because I fear I might have never looked worse. Anyway, okay, next quote. And then Asher gets suspended. He gets benched from the team because of this whole car crash. And his coach is like, you're not disciplined enough. And Asher's like, I'm so disciplined, man. I think he's British. I'm so disciplined, man. Did they say man? I'm so disciplined, mate. That's Australian. What do they say? I don't know. Anyway, his coach goes into this whole thing. He's like, you're not disciplined. It's a mental exercise. Physically you excel, but mindset you're like kind of weak AF. Like, you're so driven by your emotions. Like, you make stupid impulsive decisions with driving. Oh, Holchester's the name of the team. And the coach calls him out. I'm like, yeah, he needs to hear it because he's a mess. Okay, and then he's like, okay, he has this like seeing God moment, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna turn my life around. It's gonna be crazy. Crazy, whatever. But then he like brings his whole team. He's like, I want to apologize for how I acted and what I did to the team. But then he's like, I need your help because I need to, like, my mission, our first mission on getting back there and whatever everything, is win Scarlett back. And honestly, okay, seeing this, like, I understand it's a whole, like, brotherhood and we're all in this together thing, but, like, if I was just, like, a teammate and I'm just like, I don't really know you, I'm like, I don't care about you. Yeah, you're this big shot soccer player that's, like, our best striker, or, like, forward. I don't like calling him striker. I'd be like, deal with your personal problems on your own time. And, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more of a brotherhood. I don't know. It sounds kind of frat-like to me. But also, I'm like, you're also coworkers. I wouldn't want, like, I'm not helping my coworker get back together with their ex because they really screwed it up. That's just me. Anyway, okay. We get to this point. We haven't really talked much, like, about Scarlett's whole issues because, like, you know what? I don't have much to say about this girl. She didn't really do much wrong. She, like, has chronic pain because of her injury, and she, like, constantly pushes herself. She's scared to perform again, but she's pushing herself with this new play. And then she, like, starts comparing her and Asher's situation where she's like, oh my gosh, am I a hypocrite because I push myself and I do it to punish myself? But I don't think she's punishing herself. I think she's just pushing herself. But then he drives to punish himself for Teddy's death. And then her voice in her head's like, it's not the same. You didn't make any promises to him regarding dance. She didn't. You didn't have a history of endangering yourself or others. She does not. And you pushed yourself too hard. That's all. I agree. And I said, she said, made the situation not to say what the principle is. I don't think the principle is the same. There's a difference between, like she's sure she could re-injure her body pushing herself through ballet, but he could literally kill himself with car racing. And, like, she does ballet. I feel like it's at least connected to her career. Like, car racing is not connected to him being a soccer player at all. I don't have sympathy for him there. Oh, our next one, they're at some, like, event or something. We get a little Josh and Jules, our twisted hate couple. It had a Queen Bridget mention. Just the Anna Huang multiverse. You gotta stay up to date so you know everyone. Oh, Sebastian was also in this, I know. He's a chef from King of Sins. He might be one. I feel like he might be a main character in one of the remaining books, but we'll see. Oh, this next one is just revealing Clive was the one that vandalized Asher's car, which was crazy. I'm like, my dude. Oh, and then our next little one is Isabella. I loved Isabella from King of Pride. Her and Kai are there. And also, like, Kai and Josh both don't like Asher because, like, their significant others love Asher. a little bit of jealousy there, which is funny. Isabella's a little author and Scarlett loves her books. I'm like, yes, Isabella was successful with her writing. Yes. I love them. Then our last quote. Oh, everyone ends back up with the Valhalla. Valhalla? 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 I feel like I don't even know if I'm saying it differently. But, of course, they do the nasty in there because no one can just not do the nasty in that club, apparently. And that's all the quotes. Overall, let's get into the book cover. It gets the scary man off of my screen. Oh my gosh. Stop with the real people on the covers, please. I can't look at them. They're so scary. But I did like the scoreboard title page. That was cute. I feel like it was a little bit plain. I know like there's like the little details with like the ballerina and the soccer, but I'm like, I feel like we could have made this a little bit cuter. Or maybe it's just too white to me. I want to see more of the purple. Make it a little bit more colorful, you know? Overall, I enjoyed this. This is controversial. I don't think I'm gonna buy this book, you guys. Unless it's like gifted to me. I have been like automatically buying Anna Huang's books since Twisted Lies came out. When was that? Hey Siri, when did Twisted Lies by Anna Huang come out? 2 years ago, June 30th, I think it looks like. So I bought all of her books in the Twisted series. I got back into reading like 4 years ago, so I probably read them all then. I have bought every single one of her books since like Twisted Lies, King of Wrath, King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Sloth. I have bought them all. And after King of Sloth happened, watch my review, I decided we're gonna read them first before we judge. Or we're gonna read before we buy. That's what we're gonna do now. It just didn't feel very original. The only thing I didn't predict were Clive with the vandalism and Yvette, which I don't know, like those changes didn't really have that many effects later, so maybe that's why I just didn't care about as much or didn't really feel very monumental. It was entertaining. I wasn't like engrossed in it. I felt like it was an easy read. It was a fun little forbidden romance, and if you're into that, great. I feel like there needs to be more sports though. I'm a sports girly through and through, what can I say? That's all I had to say about that. Thanks for watching. We're gonna make this outro quick because I always yap for way too long. Make sure to, like I said, M's Novellas on literally everything. Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, Storygraphs. I have a website if you want to go there. I have a Substack if you want to go there. There's just, join my email list. There's so many things all around. You can check me out there. If you want to subscribe, it helps me out a lot. Stay around, like the video. Let me know below what you thought. If you liked it, disliked it, let me specific thoughts. I love talking about books. I love talking about books with you guys. And that's that. I will let you go. Thanks so much for listening. This was so fun, and I'll probably still read The Defender, but till then we're going to review King of Envy first. So stick around so you can check that out when it comes out. But bye! Wow, this lighting is simply not it. I'm glowing. Hi! Jump scare, sorry. Do you like the bags? Oh my gosh. Can you tell I haven't slept restfully in like 10 years? Scary. Oh my gosh. Scary stuff. All right.